gas prices, Animal Crossings, and traffic cameras? Those aren't even related to specific cars, though. What am I doing talking about those things in a parking lot prattle episode? Well, they are extremely important to the automotive industry, and I would like to share my opinions on all three of those. Starting off with the wonderful gas prices currently. Although gas prices suck, I still wouldn't buy an electric car. They are still too expensive, and they just feel disconnected. First of all, let's talk some money. All right. In 2020, I remember paying less than $3 per gallon for gas. It is 2026, and I pay $5.59 per gallon for gas. And I live in Washington State. So we have some of the most expensive gas here. It's not a surprise it's so high. But even the national average is higher than it was 6 years ago. At the time of 2020, I didn't have a minivan, but if I did, I would be paying about $45 to fill it up at around $3 per gallon. Right now, 2026, at $5.59, I pay more than $80 to fill it up. That's just an absurd amount of money, and that's every single week. $400 a month, at least. Now, let's look at electric cars. If you were to fill up an electric car at home in 2020, it would cost $7.50. That's pretty good. That's a whole tank of electricity to fill up. $7.50. Not bad, truly. In 2026, $9. Slight increase, but a lot better than double, which is what we're seeing right now in gas prices. However, my minivan, and as much as I disliked driving it, it was free, which means no car payments. So even with the maintenance, as low as it is, and are pretty equivalent to what EV maintenance is, and the high gas prices, the highest we've ever seen in a really long time, if ever, it's still cheaper than a new EV. EVs still have maintenance. They have high insurance. You get a higher electricity bill, even if it's just $9. And biggest thing is those car payments. So yeah, maybe you're saving money on gas, but in the long run, it's way more expensive. And I guarantee you they're gonna hold their value less in the future than gas-powered cars will. However, again, something good about EVs, they are newer vehicles, and they're slightly more reliable. Some may say. Some may not say. Old Honda Civic or Toyota is a pretty reliable car, but anyways. And some gas cars may require a large amount of maintenance. Depends on the car you get, right? If you got a sports car or a diesel truck, it's probably going to require more maintenance than an EV car. So I guess you could say there's pros and cons of both EV and gas powered, even in today's economy. I saw this video of this guy that was explaining how it's weird to own a Tesla, an electric car, because you wake up in the morning, you walk out to your garage, and your car has a full tank of gas. And that does sound pretty cool. But I wake up in the morning, and I walk outside to my minivan, and I don't have to pay car payments. And that's pretty cool too. Moving on to Animal Crossings. Not the game, but something more impactful to our society. When an animal has the desire, the need, the animalistic instinct to cross a road with a lot of large incoming objects. Don't ask me why they do it, they just do it. Maybe there's something on the other side that they want. We'll never know. But my question is, how dumb can animals be? And don't get me wrong, I love animals. I really do. They're beautiful creatures and they're super interesting. But we've had cars for over 100 years. That's a long time. And somehow these animals continue to get hit by them. I don't know if there's just a lack of written knowledge between the animal species about the dangers of oncoming traffic, or if generation to generation they just don't share and pass down this information. Even some like verbal communication that they can have between each other might help and save lives. Like right when they're born, you could have like this cute child squirrel, and you're like, oh, you're such a cute squirrel, just remember that cars are bad and if they hit you, you're going to die, kind of thing, you know, just to like warn them ahead of time before they go out into the dangerous world. I mean, that could solve a lot of issues that both humans have of feeling bad about hitting animals and also damaging their cars and causing traffic because they're looking at deer that's on the side of the road or whatever, and it also save animal lives, and we want to do that, right? Maybe they just need to make songs and stories about how bad cars are. I mean, we have songs about like breakups and drinking too much. They just need to make songs about how cars are bad and hurt, I guess. I'm not trying to be facetious here. I'm just like slightly annoyed because I'll tell you a story. I was driving to work one morning and it was just normal drive. I do this every single day, right? There was this little robin in the middle of the road, like directly in the middle of the lane that I was in. And he was just sitting there, all perked up. He wasn't eating. He wasn't bent over looking at anything. He was just sitting there. And I continued on my way because I thought bro was going to move out of the way, right? Most of the time they do. Just a normal thing, they fly away. But he wasn't moving. He wasn't flying, he was just staying right there, perked up, staring me directly in the eye, like I was some sort of enemy that was charging on in battle. And as I got closer, I started to think really, really hard about what to do. Like I could move lanes and everything will probably be fine, or I could continue on and hope he flies away. And unfortunately, at the second, I decided that I would just continue on because most of the time they fly away again. But I also was like aiming my car so that just in case he didn't fly away, he would go underneath the middle of my car and hopefully be safe. Thinking about it now, I should have just changed lanes. Because as I got closer and closer and closer, my bro just did not move. And up until the very, very, very last minute, he decided it was time to take flight. And he did take flight right into my bumper. The right side of my bumper, too. And I slightly felt it. Not really, but slightly. And in my right passenger mirror, I could see him crash land into the ground, sprawled out. It was very, very sad. And I did feel extremely bad. I should have just changed lanes. But, like, what was he doing? He was just, like, perked up and, like, trying to be brave or something. I don't know. It was a dramatic experience for me. And I guess that bird, bear with me, I see it as slightly payback because, bear with me here, every single morning, especially during the summer, I am woken up from the sound of birds singing in the morning. Right before my alarm needs to go off. So it's like, I can't go back to sleep because it's still too early, but I could have slept more. And it's just a bunch of loudmouth birds singing songs, probably about how bad cars are. Topic number 3, traffic cameras. Have you ever heard of Big Brother? Now, obviously, we're not there yet, right? We're not at Big Brother because that would be absurd and illegal and probably never happen in America. But the ones at stoplights, the traffic cameras, I mean, at stoplights, I feel like are getting really close. The ones that I hate the most are the ones where it's no right on red. Like, why can't I turn right on red? I don't understand. Like, no one's coming. No one's coming this way. I'm just sitting here waiting for my light to turn when I could have gone 30 seconds ago. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's a clear line of sight. It's just wasting time. I think the only reason they exist is for cities to make more money. It's not keeping people safe. Putting a camera there does not make a safer intersection. Not allowing me to turn right on red doesn't make it a safer intersection. It makes me more upset. I could be going, but I'm not. Because someone in a high chair somewhere deemed it unsafe. For example, if I'm rolling up to a right-hand turn and it's red, and I am allowed to go, I can look, no one's coming, I go. No lights have to change. I just go on my way. No wasting precious time. And since the lights didn't change, it means people brake less, and that's more efficient for cars because they don't have to increase revs as much, which means they use less gas, which means they're saving the planet. But if you have to wait until the light turns green to go on a right turn because it says no right on red, then it makes all the lights at that light change, which means people have to stop, which means they are using their cars inefficiently, using more gas, which does kill the planet. So you tell me how unsafe no right on red actually is. And traffic cameras, they only stop the good drivers, because the good drivers are the ones paying attention and see that there are traffic cameras there, or the sign that says no right on red. The bad ones are the reason you can't turn right on red. They are the ones that cause the most problems. They don't see those signs. They don't see the cameras. They're still gonna go. So problem not solved, and it's in fact worse for everyone else, because now you're wasting their time and making them more upset. But I guess it could be much worse, because it could be those idiotic speed cameras on highways that either take your average speed or make sure you're going the right speed. I would go just absolutely crazy. And obviously I drive the speed limit. Every single time I'm either at or below the speed limit, no questions asked, of course. But I don't need to be watched while following the rules. And it just makes everyone else go slower, which causes more traffic, which makes everyone just have a bad day. So please, I beg of you, whoever's out there, do not add those speed cameras. And take out all the other cameras and take out all the signs that say no right on red because it's unsafe for the planet. It's safe for everyone else. Please. I mean, if you think about it, it is really close to Big Brother because they're just watching our every move to make sure that we're following the rules. They're always watching us. They're probably watching me now. Hi. And thank you for watching. Have a great night. Goodbye.